Hey everybody, following a suggestion by Pete, which I hadn't thought about before. I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys my tractor, tell you what I do know about it, tell you what I don't know about it. Like Pete said, and like, a bunch of y'all echoed his thoughts. Maybe there's somebody out there that I hadn't thought about that knows something about tractors. Could tell me what I got here. What I do know about the tractor is that it is a Mitsubishi gray market tractor. It has a Isuzu 4BD1 engine. Somebody had told me that that was basically the Chevy love truck of tractors. They were saying that I could get the parts at Napa or someplace like that. But I still got to know what it is. It is a 4-cylinder diesel engine. I've been told that it is a MT6501 or an MT6301 or an MT7601. But I believe the 7601 is a turbo, which this is not. So right now, that's about all I do know about it, for sure. Before I get into the parts and pieces, let me tell you what it's doing. Let me show you this little knob here. If I can get down there. Alright, this little knob here, that engages it into 4-wheel drive. Clicks into place. I'm not sure which position is 4-wheel drive and which is 2-wheel drive. This lever here, which pretty much goes to the same place, I have no idea what it does. It no matter what position it's in, it doesn't seem to make a difference one way or the other. All right, now back up here. Now, if I start this thing in the up position here, see that little catch there? It'll drive around all day long just fine. Bucket works, the PTO lift arms work, everything's good. But when I go to switch it like that, it won't slip into place. It only goes to about right there, and then you can't feel it lock in like I can when it's not running. Now if I shut it off and I go ahead and click it down into that position, same thing, it'll run all day long. But here's the kicker, I lose my hydraulics. I don't know what the correlation is between the 4-wheel drive and the hydraulics, but when I go to take it out of this position and into the up position, I get this horrible grinding noise, almost like you're trying to shift gears in a car without pushing the clutch in. So that tells me that there's something inside there that's, spinning. I just don't know what it is. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure if that's the 4-wheel drive position or if that's the 4-wheel drive position. Hoping you guys can tell me. Like I said, this lever here doesn't seem to make a difference no matter where I put it. It just doesn't seem to do anything. This is the flow restrictor. Let me show you over here. This here's the flow restrictor for the PTO, or for the lift arms. So it'll go slower or faster, as you're lowering it. This thing here is the control for the rear hydraulics. If I'm pulling a hay bind or something like that. This funky thing here is a differential lock. The first couple of times I had this thing out, I was out there just playing around on it, trying to get the feel for it, and I wound up losing my gears. I couldn't shift, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, when I got it back up here, I was rolling around in it, I noticed that this wire here was broken. So I found its mate and I put it back together and I got my gears back. This wire here was broken when I got it, and I have no idea where it belongs to. Ignore this. This is just a ground wire for my lights. So I don't know what this does. Don't know if it has any effect on it or not, you know, etc., etc. These here are my gears, my gear levers. Let's see. All right, this thing here, that is the four-wheel drive engagement. Show you here. Now, clicked into place down to the bottom position. That's in the up position. Also, this thing has a hydraulic filter right here. I am told that a lot of these tractors did not have hydraulic filters. So I'm hoping that the fact that this thing does have one provides a clue as to what it might be. Oh, let's see. Like I said, I have no idea what this thing is. I assume that it's some sort of a clutch assembly for my gearing. Otherwise, you know, why would losing that wire make me lose my gears? There's the actual clutch pedal thing. Now, as far as numbers, I have this set of numbers, 173B 50075. Got these numbers up here, but I can't really tell what they are. You know, if somebody thinks they're important, I'll be happy to investigate a little bit further. Back over here, we have the 4BD1 that's actually stamped on the block. There's the plate for the Isuzu engine. It's a diesel Kiki. Don't know what that is. You know, I know that Isuzu made BD1 engines for quite a few tractors, but that's about all I know. Everybody keeps telling me that there is a model number of this thing somewhere on this frame, but I swear to God I can't find one. So I have no idea where to look. I have looked every place that I could think of, but I'm wondering if the model number that's on the little plate is somehow behind this bucket loader frame. If it is, I'm screwed, because there's no way that's coming off. Not by my hands anyway. It's a good little tractor, runs great, seems to do fine. I just don't have four-wheel drive working, and I don't know why. And the problem is, I gotta have it. Took it out in the guy's field the other day, and I was gonna try and get some of that mud out of the way, and I was sliding all over the place. I almost wound up going over the hill sideways. That wouldn't have been good. You know, I'm a little too long in the tooth to be jumping off of tractors. You know, the thing about Japanese tractors is that they have American tractors usually have just 540 RPM PTO speed. Japanese tractors have 3 different speeds. In this case, it's got 2. It's got 540 and then it's got 1,000 RPMs. You've got independent PTO and ground PTO. You've got 4 ranges in the gearing with 3 forward gears. Josh! So essentially I've got like 23 forward gears and like, I don't know, 12 reverse gears or something. You know, and then you got the, down over here, you've got the PTO lifts. And this is for the bucket, operates the bucket. That I have no idea what it does either. If anybody knows, holler at me. Anyway, that's Blue. She's big, she's beautiful. Wish I knew what she was. You know, I've noticed that looking at a bunch of these tractors, the research that I've done, you know, Mitsubishi made similar models for Iseki, I-S-E-K-I, I think, something like that. They also had Sato models, S-A-T-O-H. They also made tractors for Yanmar. So, you know, it could be anything. And I mentioned gray market. Basically what gray market is, for, you know, anybody that doesn't know, I didn't know, you know, until I started looking into it. Basically a gray market tractor is a tractor that's made for, say, New Holland. New Holland, you know, contracts with Japan to build, you know, 50,000 tractors. Well, China or Japan, as the case may be, takes those plans and the models for the tractor, and they market them under a different name, and they sell them, you know, to India and Pakistan, places like that. You know, some here in the U.S., some in Australia, Europe, but they're not branded as, you know, New Holland or International or something like that. And the tractor manufacturers get a little upset about it because, you know, they don't always have the same safety features and things like that. So they kind of, you know, it's like the red-headed stepchild. You know, they just say, well, you know, it's not one of ours, so to hell with it. When it's still essentially the same tractor, but with a few variations that they don't want to have anything to do with. Anyway, that's my quandary. You know, I've had a bunch of people say, well, just Google it. You know, I'm sure you can find lots of information on the internet about it. You know, that was one of the first things I tried, and that is one of the things that I have been trying since November. There are very few references to the tractor at all. I can't find one exactly like it, but I found, you know, similar models. They all change a little bit, you know. Sometimes it's these grab handles. Sometimes it's the rollover protection. You know, it just varies on what's different, but, you know, a lot of times the throttle here is on one side instead of the other. You know, so it's just things like that that change a little bit. You know, it's like having a different model car from one year to the next. So, if anybody has any ideas, or, you know, you have any tractor gurus in the family, or, you know, squirreled away in your attic or something, you know, holler at them. Make them watch the video. If anybody can help out, I would greatly appreciate it. You know, if I find something in the meantime, I'll let you guys know. You know, otherwise, that's my tractor. And, you know, if anybody has any ideas, you know, I'd love to hear them. You know, honestly, I'm about at my wit's end. If y'all know anything, just holler at me. Thanks, y'all.